I'm your mother-in-law, and I like to question your every move, like this left turn.
It's the next one.
You always drive this slow.
How did you make someone I love?
That must be why you're always so late.
I do not speed, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise.
Yeah, my son, he did say that you were the safe option.
And that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
So get Allstate.
Stop bossing.
Where good drivers save 40% for avoiding mayhem like me. It's my son's favorite color. You should try it. You always drive like an old lady.
You're an old lady.
When it's time to sell your home, there's a lot of money on the line. How can you trust your real estate agent will get it right? There's good news. With HomeLight, you can compare actual performance data on thousands of agents near you, so you know who sells quickly, who sells for the best price. We'll match you with the perfect agent for your needs. And best of all, it's free. Sell your home for more money. Go to HomeLight.com today.
We're destined for greatness. Nobody ever thought they would make it. Watch how far we take it. Past the stars and spaceships from a city where the music is sacred. You're in the presence of a rebel now. Yeah, we like to take it to another level now. Things are looking better now. We can live forever now.
Derek Jones and Sidney Johnson with you at Yale University Lee Amphitheater as we get a look at the NCAA news and notes. And Sidney, when you take a look at some of these key things, obviously big news with San Diego State. They have done a tremendous job this year.
Yeah, outstanding. I mean, running through their league, and they have a chance to go finish conference play without a loss. That would be remarkable. Vanderbilt did themselves took a step forward in terms of beating a very good LSU team, and then the Big Ten has been, top to bottom, the best league in the country without question.
Joe Lunardi in his bracketology, 11 of 14, at least in on his field right now, out of the Big Ten.
Standout years for Rutgers, Penn State, Illinois has really added depth to what's always historically been a great conference.
Mason Forbes could not catch up with that pass. And it's going to be interesting down the stretch. We mentioned bracketology. Here's a look at the last four in, first four out. Now, it's important to note Yale, their net right now, they're 50th in the country, which could play in later down the line.
Yeah, well, for years now, two-bid Ivy has been a thing, and the discussion is very real because you're looking at a tremendous Harvard team that has the Ivy League tournament on its home court this season, Derek, so that could be very huge, assuming they finish top four. It could be very interesting how this race plays out in the conference.
11-point lead for Harvard. Can Yale come back?
It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can tell you, but it's like you. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can tell you.
I'm your mother-in-law, and I like to question your every move, like this left turn.
It's the next one.
You always drive this slow.
How did you make someone I love?
That must be why you're always so late.
I do not speed, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise.
Yeah, my son, he did say that you were the safe option.
And that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
So get Allstate.
Stop bossing.
Where good drivers save 40% for avoiding mayhem like me. It's my son's favorite color. You should try it. You always drive like an old lady.
You're an old lady.
When it's time to sell your home, there's a lot of money on the line. How can you trust your real estate agent will get it right? There's good news. With HomeLight, you can compare actual performance data on thousands of agents near you, so you know who sells quickly, who sells for the best price. We'll match you with the perfect agent for your needs. And best of all, it's free. Sell your home for more money. Go to HomeLight.com today.
Harvard trying to close out Yale here, up by 11, 73-62. Welcome back inside Lee Amphitheater. Derek Jones and Sidney Johnson with you this evening. And Sidney, this is more of the lines of what I think people thought they would see out of Harvard during Ivy League play this year.
Indeed, and old school coaches don't love the phrase two-way player because you're supposed to play on both ends. Well, how about two-way team? Because Tommy Amaker has talented offensive guys, but they're getting it done on the defensive end as well. They are well-rounded and a tough out for a lot of people in this conference.
And how about the play of Noah Kirkwood? He's been a key cog.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. And again, only in his second year of playing college basketball. He's got the floater game, big threes. He'll make huge free throws. He's an in-the-moment guy. He does everything. You think about Aiken is out, Towns is out. Two guys who've been first-team all-league in this conference for Harvard. Kirkwood has certainly stepped up to carry the load.
If you're just joining us, as Paul Atkinson at the line sinks the first, Yale has never led in this game. It has been Harvard nearly wire to wire.
And that's something that Tommy Amaker talked about. He didn't want to be chasing the game. Well, they've been leading, and it's been Yale who's been chasing the game all night, as you said, Derek.
Lead at 9. Outside to Juzang. Juzang open for three. Almost got it, but a rebound off the miss, and now Jordan Bruner is down.
Not a good sign there. He has had an injury here or there in the past. We'll see if we can get a good look on the replay, but that's not a good sign. You're talking about a potential first-team All-Ivy performer, and Jordan Bruner, quiet night. And you can see, I mean, the crowd is very quiet because you don't want to see that.
Bruner has been such a force.
On the scramble, late contest. And just that left knee. I'm not sure if it was the right or left, but he certainly landed awkwardly. It looks like the left knee buckled a bit. And that's why he's walking off a bit gingerly.
Bruner, one of the great shot blockers in program history. He is a defensive force on both sides of the basketball.
I love the effort there. He didn't give up on the play, but I will say in that possession, Yale was basically scrambling, and Harvard was doing everything that they wanted to do in that possession. And it's kind of been a lot of that all night, which is why the Bulldogs are still looking at a 9-point deficit.
They continue to look over at Bruner. Atkinson going back to it down low. Bumped. Not a problem for Paul Atkinson Jr. 28 points. A career high for Paul Atkinson.
Best player in the league as far as I'm concerned. But they need more than just one guy to get it done. It's a very talented Harvard team, and there again is that push off from Kirkwood.
They call it, and now maybe momentum starting to swing the way of the Bulldogs. Forbes heads out, Lewis back in. So Lewis back in the post to deal with Atkinson as Forbes. Now down low, it's Eric Monroe with the layup attempt. So Monroe with the finish at the rim.
They're playing him to pass. Everybody's staying at home. So when he gets some kind of momentum, very wise from this young man to look at the basket and look for his own offense.
5-point lead. Harvard up 73-68, but the Bulldogs trying to make a charge. As again, if Yale wins, they'll go to 5-0 and hold a half-game lead over Princeton. They'll resume action on Saturday and Sunday due to their schedule switch because of the inclement weather. Harvard, if they lose this game, they'll drop to 2-3, but if they win, they'll stay in the mix in that top 4. Again, remember, the top 4 teams make the Ivy League tournament coming up in mid-March.
The thing I loved in terms of talking with Coach Amaker, he said, Sydney, I've got some really smart guys. We're 2-2, and everybody around us might be thinking we're reeling a bit. Our guys might overthink this. I tell them, don't think it out, play it out. And right now, they've executed. They've stayed in the moment, defensively, offensively, to give themselves this 5-point lead. But this is a huge moment, and I'm sure he's reminding them, play this game through. Don't overthink it.
8-0 run for the Bulldogs. Baseline, Juricic blocked by Bruner, who's back in. Swain trying to shake free from Juzang. He'll try a 3 and hit. Azar Swain cuts it to a 2-point game. Yale still looking for its first lead of the night.
Credit Bruner for checking himself back in the game and getting a block and a stop. And then Swain has been the guy all night long with Atkinson.
Kirkwood can't answer. Bruner with a rebound.
If Swain doesn't shoot this, I'll be stunned. Well, playing within the moment. Got to respect that.
Monroe. Bruner now at work. Gets blocked by Juricic. It's loose, and Juzang comes away with it.
You could see he was laboring towards that left and couldn't power through.
Under 90 seconds remaining. An 11-0 Yale run has dropped the lead down to 2 for Harvard.
And what will Harvard's execution be? They've lost a pair of single possession games.
And a foul by Jalen Gabadon, who is considered Yale's best on-ball defender. And he comes up a little bit hurt, it appears, as he limps off.
Tough play there, and that Juzang really wasn't going anywhere, and he was close to half court. I know he's probably thinking, and he is a fantastic on-ball defender, but he's thinking steal, but why put Juzang at the line? Trust your defense, trust your help. You've gotten several stops in a row. This would be a pivotal moment here if Juzang can come through with these free throws.
First points for Harvard in over 3 minutes. Juzang with one more. And he gets it 75-71. Of course, next year in Ivy League play, a scenario like this in many weeks will be just a one-game scenario. These teams moving forward tomorrow, back-to-back setup. Swain, baseline drive, his layup, no good. Juricic with a rebound. And Kirkwood is fouled by Cotton with 44 seconds left to go. Coming up on Saturday, number 7 Duke takes on North Carolina. It's a Sonic blockbuster. 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. So you can watch anywhere. Kirkwood, no good on the free throw. A 1-and-1 attempt. And that game hopefully will be just as great as this one. The 3 is good by Swain. Azar Swain cuts it down to 1. Time out, Harvard.
Here's the comeback by Yale. Atkinson getting it done on the block. Monroe as well, understanding he's got to look for his offense. They've been doing it defensively as well, and Swain has been the it guy all evening. giving you everything you can handle. Can't leave him open from three. He'll bring it all the way home.
This has been a Yale team that has not shot the three ball well at times tonight. But it's been Swain who has keyed a 14-2 run for this Bulldogs club. And how do you compose your team on each side, Sydney, if you're Coach Jones and Coach Amaker?
You always root yourselves into what all the buildup that you had leading into the game. So whether it's the pregame talk or at halftime, the fundamentals, get back to those. There is no way that Tommy Amaker came into this game and said, hey, when Swain dribbles off a ball screen, we're going to give him space. So he's got to remind them of simple things like that. Certainly take care of the ball here on this end. Don't allow any careless passes because Yale may overplay, shoot the passing lanes for steals. But all of the simple, small things, those are really critical to be reminded of in moments like these.
Swain has 24 second half points. Ballin' here tonight.
Interesting lineup. They've got 4 guards here to be quicker and faster than Yale. Juricic is the one forward out there, but expecting the press, so Amaker wants to be fast and speedy.
Kirkwood is fouled by Eric Monroe. So a 1-point lead for Harvard. A reminder, more college basketball on the way as we head to the MAC. Both Niagara and Manhattan are 5-5 in conference play with only 10 games left. Conference seeding and tournament hang on every win. Niagara and Manhattan coming up next as the free throw is no good out of the hands of Kirkwood.
Can't stress it enough. Yale has to trust that they don't need a desperation three. Albeit, I'd love to put the ball in Swain's hand and get him in a ball screen. If you give him space, let it go. But a 2 can either tie this game, I was going to say, or win it. Now they can just simply go for a 2. Don't need to take a bad 3.
Double bonus both ways. Yale has 1 timeout left. Harvard has 2. Swain with 17 seconds left. It's tipped, taken by Bruner. Against Lewis, gets blocked. Outside, Cotton 3, no good. And that heads out of bounds with 6 seconds left. Cotton had a great look at it, but couldn't knock it down.
Fantastic substitution. Coach Amaker made sure he got Chris Lewis in the game, allowed him to be a shot blocker, rim protector. Huge block shot there for number 0, Harvard's all-time leader in block shots.
And a foul of Juzang with just 5 seconds left, a 2-point game, 76-74, as Juzang with 2 free throws can make it a 2-possession game and make it very tough on Yale to come back.
Juzang missed some big free throws at Dartmouth earlier in the year. They still wound up winning that game.
Good on the first.
And what did he do after that game? He went back in the gym and shot free throws. When you address your weaknesses, there's going to be another opportunity for you to come through. Let's see if Juzang can capitalize and go 2 for 2 from the line.
Yale has not lost a game here at home this season. And in fact, they've averaged 27 points per game. And a big, in terms of victory, in terms of Azar Swain, he's been a key.
Well, and they've seen a lot of nights like this from Swain. He's a big shot guy, Derek, I'll tell you. I mean, he's the type of kid who can go 2 for 10, and down the stretch, he'll hurt you. Well, this evening, he did it all in the, mostly all in the second half. Step backs, getting to the rim, wide open threes. He's been inspired and has really built on that fantastic performance he had against Columbia and Cornell last weekend.
30 points. 24 of them in this half. He wants to play a factor in the conclusion, but Juzang hits the free throw to make it a 2-possession game with just 5.6 left.
Have to score as quick as you can.
Swain will let it go from 3. He's fouled and banked it in! want that to happen if you are Harvard. A disastrous sequence of events.
Can't believe it, Derek. I mean, if you're going to foul, you got to foul at half court early. Not allow him to get a shot off. Haskins is a terrific defender, but there he just put the foul on too late. And this is a huge free throw, but man, when you're in college basketball, that's why I have gray hair, okay? When you're in college basketball, you got to be prepared for everything, and that is everything that Amaker did not want to happen, and yet it shows up for the Yale Bulldogs, an improbable opportunity to send this into overtime. Amazing.
Swain gets fouled by Rio Haskett.
Derek, a little bit of basketball IQ here. Bassey has to box him in. He almost picked his own teammate there. Got in the way of Haskett. He should have double teamed. And what's the worst thing that can happen? A wide open three instead of a contested three with a chance to make it a 4-point play.
Swain from the line, 78%. And now an opportunity here to tie this game up. Yale has never led in this contest, and this game was tied for all of 40 seconds. Otherwise, Harvard has led.
And the only thing I can think of right now in terms of our officials is trying to see how much time is left on the clock in terms of what Harvard would get. Obviously, they would love a miss, and that would effectively be the ball game. But a made free throw, and maybe Harvard would have some hope of throwing a Hail Mary down the court and getting their own shot at the rim before regulation times out.
These last 3 games now for Harvard in the Ivy League, my word. You have the crazy overtime and, of course, the crazy sequence to lead up to Harvard tying the game against Penn. That one goes into overtime where Harvard loses. The last-second loss to Princeton last Saturday night, and now it looked like they were on their way to a win, but not so fast, says Azar Swain.
Right. And I know this is good TV. These coaches got to love it. And I mean that. I mean, Amaker has to be proud of his team because the way that they've comported themselves all evening, coming off of 2 tough losses, they have come to play. Obviously, they would love to do away with the last 5.6 seconds. And then Yale constantly has stayed in it. They want to hold on to that undefeated record. Really good chance in league play if Swain can make this free throw.
They are taking a look at how much time is left in terms of when that foul was committed on Swain.
And Tim Kelly, our official, letting us know they're looking at the time, and they've got 1.2, and our folks, 2.1, our folks in the truck helping out our officials. It's a group effort here. Officials got it right, 2.1, so that's a good amount of time there, Derek.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, that's huge.
That is a big difference because if Swain hits this free throw, Harvard, remember, has 2 timeouts left. So this is not over if Swain makes his free throw. But that's a big if. He's got to make this.
And he's been waiting a while to shoot this free throw.
Missed it! Bassey grabs the rebound, and it's all over.
I can't believe Yale so shocked, so stunned that they didn't think to foul right away. You would expect their big guy to come through. He's been a little big man, but certainly not in that final play.
And you're absolutely right. Nobody went over to foul with that much time left.
Derek, they were just staring, looking right at him, and I think it was just stunned, shock. Amazing play for him to be able to put himself in that position. Obviously, he'll feel bad about that missed free throw. It never really comes down to one play, but there, the improbable off the glass NBA three, great focus, but he almost knew it. You can see his reaction at the line. He almost knew it as soon as it left his hand. It was a lot of time to wait, Derek, to shoot that free throw. Completely broke his rhythm and timing, cooled down, and just wasn't able to convert.
And with that, Yale suffers its first loss in the Ivy League. Princeton jumps to the top of the Ancient Eight. Meanwhile, Harvard ends a 2-game losing streak as they finally get a win back on the road.